Hey, Spinnernet1, this is Brian, BW Roses, here with a video response to you on your question about what could have been a possible dream match between Shawn Michaels and The Rock. Now, I will admit that if this match could have happened when both were competing in the WWE together, it probably would have been one of the classic matches. I mean, people say that the Iron Man match between Bret Hart and Shawn, and then this year's WrestleMania match between Shawn and The Undertaker were classics, #1s and all that, and some will even say that Hogan and The Rock was a classic, and I agree. But would this one be a classic if it was to happen? I'd have to say yes, definitely be a classic. Now, you are right about one thing. I would definitely have it happen at WrestleMania. But, as you said, as you asked, how would you get it to happen? How would you book it? How would it come about? Well, it's real simple. You see, last year, or this past year, one of the founders of the Attitude Era in the WWE, Stone Cold Steve Austin, was inducted into the Hall of Fame. My guess would be, well, not my guess, but the way I would book it basically is this is how I would book it. I would have 1 week. I would have in the first 2 weeks the first 2 announcements, and I'd make them very early, just like they did Stone Cold. But I'd make the 2 first announcements of Hall of Fame inductees for the WWE Hall of Fame class. Let's say for next year or the year after. But basically, I would have the introduction of the first 2 inductees into the class, revealed, or should I say unveiled, at the same time they unveiled Stone Cold. And the reason I say I would do that is because this way we can build up the hype, we can build up the anticipation. And the first inductee, of course, would be Shawn Michaels. And then the following week, the next inductee, because let's say WWE's in Miami, Florida, the next inductee would be The Rock. That's the way I would book it. I mean, this is the way I would do it. Like I said, just unveil at the same time they did Stone Cold unveiling into the Hall of Fame, this year. I'd have them do it the same way with Shawn Michaels. Like 1 week be in San Antonio for Raw, and have Shawn Michaels revealed as the first inductee into the Hall of Fame. Then the next week be in Miami, Florida, have Rock revealed as the second inductee into the Hall of Fame. Then have the fans start talking to the point that we have Shawn Michaels come out, possibly in Miami, Florida, when Rock is revealed as the next inductee. Have Shawn come out, kind of talk about how him and Rock are both being inducted into the same class at the same time. And that the only thing, and that although they have accomplished everything, including both being WWE Champion and World Champion, that the only thing they have not accomplished besides winning those titles, along with the Intercontinental and the Tag titles, the only thing they have not accomplished is facing each other. Because, Shawn, as you said, Spinnernet, could come out and talk about how they faced similar individuals, but the differences are, Rock beat Hogan and beat Austin, while Shawn could say he didn't, yet he took him to the limit. But then yet Shawn could say things like he's only lost once to The Undertaker, while Rock has lost so many times. And that, Rock took off for Hollywood and didn't really officially retire or anything and say goodbye to anybody like he did. He could say that the reason he had to retire was because he had an injury, but at least he came back. Heck, he didn't make sporadical appearances and wrestle a few matches. He came back and wrestled full time. Unlike Rock, who has taken off for Hollywood and has not looked back since, except for a few special appearances and a little physical altercations, but that's it. No match. he can make those kind of arguments to the point that he would finally say, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to, the point that he can say that, above all that, I want to do one thing. I want to basically just have him end it by saying, so here's what I want to do. I want to challenge The Rock to a match at WrestleMania. That's how it would be. Have him talk about everything I just talked about, how they have similarities and differences, how Rock beat Austin Hogan and how he didn't, how Rock left the WWE wrestling for Hollywood, never officially retired, never said his official goodbyes, or Shawn did that but came back and became fully wrestler and became more of a full-time wrestler now. Oh, well, Rock is just, off, basically everything I just said, build it to the point that finally, let's say on Saturday night's main event, a live edition of it, if it ever comes back, or on a 3-hour Raw, let's say, one of those two, which centers around Rock returning to give an answer. We have Rock come out on one of those two occasions, and just as he's about to say, look, I'd love to do it, but I can't, we don't have nothing to prove kind of deal, we have Shawn come out, get in his face, basically repeat everything, and then say the reason The Rock doesn't want to face him is because he knows in his heart and soul and mind he can't beat Shawn Michaels. Basically get under The Rock's skin to the point that Rock finally says, all right, you want to see who's the best? Just bring it. You're all at WrestleMania. Or something like that. That's how I would build it up. Have no physical altercation or anything. Have videos of that are similar to what him and Brett did. Basically have them training and everything, getting ready. And then finally at WrestleMania, have the match and literally let it steal the show and not have it in the middle like they did Undertaker and Shawn Michaels or Rock and Hogan. Have it right near the end, if not at the end, to finally see who is the best. That's how I would book a Shawn Michaels versus The Rock match at WrestleMania. That's how I would do it. That's how I would build it up. In all honesty, hopefully Spinnernet, you can agree with me on that. If not, hey, it's all good. Peace.